Hey, kia ora, Helen Brahms here coming to you live from Mesa, Arizona on a beautiful, super fantastic, sparkling, thankful Thursday morning. So this is the day of the week where we look at what's happened during the week that we can be grateful for. But it shouldn't just be limited to one day or to one any day of the week. We should be practicing gratitude every single day in all situations. Yes, even those situations where we feel down and out, we something bad happens, because life never goes as we plan it. So so we just have to we do have to roll with the punches and roll with it. They say roll with the punches, which is exactly what you have to do when life throws you a punch. You have to roll with it. Change is always happening. That's one thing you can guarantee in life. Is one thing that's permanent in life is change. It is going to happen no matter what. You can sit in a chair and do absolutely nothing, yet the world will still continue to change around you. The environment will change around you. Your attitude towards it will change you. So you still have to practice that attitude of gratitude no matter what's happening. And some people go, oh, but then I'm going to be, you're just living in a sheltered world, or you're looking through at the world through rose-colored glasses. Absolutely not. If you only gave gratitude in the happy times, you're not going to find a lot of stuff to be very grateful for through that way, because you're only looking at the happy. You have to concentrate on the bad times too. What can you be grateful for in that moment? If you're going through, if you've been through some trauma, you've lost somebody that you love dearly has passed, there is always something to be grateful for in that moment. You've heard me tell this time and time again that with Brett, in fact, one of the questions I put on my Facebook page, I think it was yesterday or the day before, was if you could go back in time and remove an invention, what invention would you remove? And it was interesting seeing all the comments coming through about what inventions that people would remove. Yet there was one person who turned around and said that they wouldn't change any of the inventions. And that was my attitude towards it as well. I wouldn't change any of the inventions, because it's some people consider it progress. Some people consider some inventions not so much progress. But when you look at it, if it wasn't for those inventions that were around there that may or may not have touched your lives, but it may have touched somebody that you know. So in a way, it did touch your life, not directly. But would you be the person you are today if those inventions did not exist? So think about that. When you think about going back in time to change things in your life, would you really? Do you really want to go back in time and change something in your life? My attitude is hell no. If somebody gave me the opportunity to go back and change one moment in my life, no way. Because what happens is that if you think of a drop of water going in and those ripples that go out, and you get that ripple effect going out, and you watch them, and as the ripples go out, they get bigger and bigger and bigger, and keep going out, and they start merging with other ripples that are coming in from other moments in lives, from other people's that other people have created. And so soon you get this ripple effect. Think of, they turn around and say that the flap of a butterfly can lead to hurricanes and tornadoes and things. And you're like, how the heck? It's the ripple effect. It's the ripple effect. And when you think about the ripple effect, you think about how time has changed. In fact, there's the movie Time Cop with Jean-Claude Van Damme in it. Great example of this. Even Back to the Future is another great example. These time travel movies are a great example of when people go back in time to change something, and then the ripple effect that goes out from that time. And so then they've got to go back to fix it, or they go to the future, they change something there that ends up going back into the future, which they now have. Yeah. So if you watch the Back to the Future trilogies, you've got them bouncing from past to present to future, back to present, not good, having to go back into the past, ending up further back. It's sort of like it can be a little mind-boggling, but I love watching the Back to the Future trilogies. But it just shows you how changing that one thing has the ripple effect out through the years and everything else. So, like in Back to the Future, when Marty is in the future and he gets that sports almanac and takes it back, and before he takes it back, the bad guy. Jeepers, I watched that movie so many times. He steals it and takes it back to himself as a teenager, and says, "Don't lose this." Um, and the kid's like, "Why?" And then he makes millions over the years from betting on all these sporting games and stuff, because he already has that almanac as to what happened. And what's the ripple effect when Marty makes it back to his present time? Everything has changed. Everything. His father has died. His mother is a drunk call girl for that bad. Oh God, what was his name? Bud? No, was it Bud? Whatever it was. And it's that ripple effect because of that one moment that got changed. So think about that. If you change one moment in your life, you would not be the person you are today. You would not have what you have today. You would not have the incredible, amazing life that you have today. And you might be sitting there in a shack somewhere and going, yeah, this is a really amazing life. Change the attitude. It really is something as simple as changing the attitude. And people go, yeah, it's not really that simple. Yeah, it is. It's learning to be grateful in all situations. If you're living in a shack, at least you have a roof over your head. You may be able to put food on the table. Be grateful for the roof that you have over your head. Be grateful if you're there with somebody else, that you're not sitting in an old shack alone somewhere. What am I grateful for? I'm grateful that I have my RV. I've got shelter from the storms that have been coming through here. And is it the best shelter? No, because it's got a lot of drafty bits where cold air can come in around the windows and everything else, and I have to learn how to insulate the RV against that. But I'm still grateful that I have a solid, well, depending how solid you want to call something on wheels. But I'm still grateful for that. And I love my life. I love that nomadic lifestyle. Am I still looking for a permanent place to put roots down? Absolutely. Because then I've got a home base that I can come to for during the winter months, and then I can take off during the summer months. So there's still that so I get the best of both worlds. I have the permanent base because I've kind of enjoyed sitting in one place for these last 5 months, since the end of September. And I've enjoyed living in the one spot for ages, but I'm also kind of itching to move on to the next adventure. I don't know what the next adventure is going to be. I don't know if it involves me getting back on the road. I'm looking for somewhere that I can put roots down and say this is my home base that I can travel from. Will I travel again? I don't know. With the global pause and everything going on right now, and all the stuff they're saying, well, if you're going to travel internationally, you have to have this, that, and the other thing. And I'm sort of like, yeah, no. So everything is changing. Everything changes daily on a constant basis. Be grateful for everything. I am grateful that I have a packed schedule today. I'm grateful I didn't laze in bed this morning, that I just popped up out of bed. I actually woke before the alarm went off, but I waited for it to go off anyway, because I love the way my alarm goes off. I didn't know how long I'd been awake before it went off, but I just lay there and just thinking about things and being grateful, and begin each day with a grateful heart. And I was just laying there being grateful for things. And when the alarm goes off, I should bring it out here. It's just a little alarm clock that's got 27 different sounds you can wake up to. I've got the Wales, I think it is. I think it's the Wales one. But it comes on and it starts with this gentle light and this soft sound, and you set the maximum volume that you want. And over 2 minutes, it gets up to that maximum light and maximum volume over a 2-minute time period. And then you hit snooze, and it will snooze for 10 minutes. And it does 5 snoozes, based, of course, on how long you let because once it hits the hour mark, so my alarm is set to go off at 6:07 every morning in case I sleep in. Yes, and 6:07 is a sleep in for me. And if the snooze goes beyond 7:07, it only goes for an hour. So however many times you slap it within that hour, there's a 10-minute snooze between each. But I love sitting, just laying there and just listening to these sounds, just starting to, it's a beautiful way to wake up. Instead of having an alarm blaring, it starts off gentle and goes up. And what does Seffi do? She just snuggles back down again. She's like, oh no, here goes that thing again. Or she'll give a great big sigh. She's hilarious with it. But it's a beautiful way to start. It's a beautiful way to start this in the morning, instead of a or whatever you have going off at full volume. That alarm across the room that you've got to get up and go slap. And now that you're up, you might as well go and have a shower or whatever. But yeah, it was a beautiful way to wake up. And so we were up extra early this morning, earlier than we normally are. I'm up early every morning anyway. But, we just got our butts into gear this morning. We've already had breakfast, and then I went and brushed my teeth after breakfast, and I came back and I sat down and had my cup of tea here, and I'm like, oh, lemon, ginger, manuka honey, and toothpaste. Great. But I hate cold tea, and I didn't want to waste my cup of tea, so I'm suffering through it anyway. But, we've got up, we've had breakfast, the dishes are done. Zeffie's been out for a walk. She actually ended up having a playtime with one of her doggy friends that are around the camp. They happened to come down while we were at the dog park. We saw a beautiful sunrise this morning, just peeking through this narrow slit in the clouds. It was a great start to the day, and I've already got notes ready. My calendar is blocked out today with reminders set. I set my notifications today. So I've got that done, and I'm about to go on a great training call. And then I have a brainstorming session immediately after that. So it's going to be, what a great way to wake up in the morning. To know that you've got a brainstorming session coming in. Oh, I love it when collective minds get together and they just do these brainstorming sessions. It is, it's going to be awesome. Oh, and I found out yesterday too that remember we had Networking Riches 2 weeks ago. Well, not this weekend, but the following weekend on the 6th and 7th of February, we are having a Networking Riches encore. Yes! And it's going to be more of the breakthrough sessions and the breakthrough zones, which my favorite part of the entire. Yes, you get great information, everything else, but my most favorite part is the breakthrough sessions, because I love seeing people sitting down with a problem that they think it's sort of like, I'm either going to have to close the business or do this, so I'm not sure what to do. I've got no idea. Money's not coming in. What am I going to do? And then we have that brainstorming session, and you see the light bulbs go off. But the other part about the breakthrough session is there is so much great information shared during that time. You're sort of like, oh, they're in the hairdressing business. They've got nothing to do with my genealogy business. But there could be something that gets suggested that they try in the hairdressing business. And I sort of like go, that's a really great idea. And instead of saying, well, that's not going to work for my business, I was trying to say, how can I make that work for my business? And when I was heavily into travel and all of that sort of stuff, I would hear other ideas coming up and around and everything else. Real estate investment. Who would have thought that real estate investment would come up with some great ideas on marketing or getting word out there? And I'm sitting there going, ooh, how can I make that work for travel? And the brain starts going together, because it's not like shutting down because I can't do that. No, it's turning around and saying, how can I make that work for my business? So, and I am super excited. I'm so grateful that we're going to have this chance to do more breakthrough sessions. So if you want to come to that, let me know, and I will. I'm going to put the link in the description. I didn't even think about that till just now. So I'll put the link in the description. So if you want to come, you'll be able to come join us for the encore. It is going to be amazing, especially if there's breakthrough sessions. Just have lots of pen, lots of ink and paper available, because you're going to be taking a ton of notes during that time. And these sessions are they are recorded, but I think they're only recorded and given to the person who was in the chair. It's not spread out for distribution, because it is a confidential space. And that's one of the things. It's a confidential space. There's great, amazing things that happen in there. And the only person that gets the golden nuggets are those that were present at the time. So if you want some golden nuggets for your business, come join us, because that's the only way you're going to get those golden nuggets for your business. And even if you're sitting there going, oh, I really don't want to do that. It's too late. Oh, well, it's the weekend. I don't get much time off. And quit with the excuses. The excuses don't belong. Okay? Get in there, get committed, and do it. And remember, when I was talking, I think it was yesterday. Was it yesterday or the day before? I was talking about how there were times when I didn't want to go to the master. I didn't want to have to do the drive up to LA to do the mastermind group, then to sit through the mastermind, and then I'm going to sit through a 2 to 3 hour drive to get back home to San Diego. And how I would have that argument with me, and yet when I got there, it was the best event ever at that time. And I was grateful that I actually dragged my butt out of bed and went to it. So if you're like coming up with excuses to why you can't, and guess what? It's free. We're not charging you, so there's no monetary outlay. Yes, you've got to spend a few hours, but those hours are going to be filled with golden nuggets. It is going to be unbelievable, because I've been through so many breakthrough zones, watching people go through breakthrough zones, and I've been through some breakthrough zones myself. and the ideas that flow, mind-blowing. Absolutely mind-blowing. And I'm furiously scribbling, taking notes, absorbing, and I have my different colored pens handy, so if an idea comes up and I'm not sure how I'm going to make it work for my business at the time, I will write it down in a different color, which means I've got to go back and recall what was it they were talking about at that time, what was the idea that came up, and how they're working it for their business, and how can I make it work for my business. And then other ideas come up, and so like, oh, that's a really good idea, I need to implement that. And so I write that in a different color. So my notes get color coded as I'm going. You know, I'm all about the color. So be grateful. You know, I'm grateful for the opportunity that I have, the opportunity to be able to attend events like this. Some events you go to, it's like, yeah. But, you know, if you pick up one golden nugget while you're there, it was worth the time to go. If you bring one golden nugget that makes a big difference in your business, in your life, it was well worth the time. Never think about, oh, that was useless, I didn't get anything out of that. Well, then obviously you didn't have your ears open, or you were not in the right frame of mind or the right space to receive what was being taught, because you will only receive what it is that you need. You will only hear what you need to hear. Like I said, I've been to Networking Riches, I don't know, I've lost count of the number of times. I think there's only been one, maybe two that I have missed since 2014. And every single time I have come away with, yes, some of it is repeated, and I know it's been repeated, but there are times that those repeats finally click. Oh, that's what he meant all these times I've heard that. Or, oh, that's a really cool idea. And yet your brain suddenly goes, oh, this is a fresh idea. We can work with this. We can do this. And it gets all excited and everything else. And then all of a sudden you sit there and go, hang on. He's had that in the last 10 sessions of this thing. Why did I not pick it up then? Because I wasn't mentally ready for it. When you are ready to hear the information, you will receive it. It's think of it as when you hook up your TV to the satellite or whatever, and it's doing that, and you're tuning in. That's basically what you're doing whenever you're out there. You're tuning into your surroundings. You're tuning into the conversations around you. And your brain is like working like, yep, nope, yep, nope, yep, nope, yep, nope, yep. Oh, this is good. Let's tune into this channel. So think of the times if you've done a channel scan on your TV and it goes through and it pauses on a channel and it waits for you to accept it or whatever, and then it moves on to the next one. That's basically what your brain is doing the whole time. And your brain is it's a pile of grey mushy stuff, but it is an incredible pile of grey mushy stuff. And you need to hear the story on that one, how, you know, grey mushy stuff. I always describe the brain as grey mushy stuff. But it has a huge capacity for learning, and it is an incredible computer that we have inside our heads. Do we take full advantage of it? Absolutely not. Do some take more advantage of it than others? Absolutely. Are you going to take advantage of your brain today and put it into an attitude of gratitude? That's your decision to make. I'm definitely having an attitude of gratitude. I'm grateful for this day. I'm grateful for the fact that I've now got to go get on another call for a training call. Then I'm grateful I've got to go do a brainstorming session. And then I'm grateful that the rest of my day is packed up. I've got networking events going on today. I've got training sessions going on today. And I'm working on my projects today. My calendar is like back to back to back to back to back with about 5-minute breaks between each thing, because I'm trying to maximize the amount of time that I get to work on projects before I move on to the next meeting or training session that I have today. So today is a very packed day. I have to go. There's my 10-minute warning. Have a super fantastic sparkling day and make it a grateful one. Be grateful in all situations. Be grateful for what you have. Be grateful for the people you get to connect with today. Find at least one thing to be grateful for today and hook onto it and concentrate on that one thing. Then go looking for another thing to be grateful for today. Find 3 things today that you are grateful for. And you'll be surprised once you're sitting into the attitude of gratitude, how many more things you'll start finding to be grateful for each and every day. Have a super fantastic sparkling day. Hei konera.